Hi, is it from Zetster's Lab? This is very crazy, but it is what it is. This is me, and I just had to share with you. So this morning, a couple of hours back, I created the video about my jelly plate print from the little scene, the one reference photo. I don't know what to call this. Art supplies, experiment with art supplies, or I don't know, I'll think about it. But after I've done the jelly plate, I immediately came and I sat down and I thought, well, what will I use on the jelly plate print to get my little scene, to paint my scene. So I started off with a ball pen trying to get this working on the jelly plate print because this is acrylics, and then I remember, oil pastels. So I immediately went for my oil pastels, found them, and I don't know where they are now, but I got 3 boxes full, one from my husband of 40 years ago. He used it. Then I bought one at a sale and another one at a charity shop. So I've got 3 boxes full. Don't really know how to use them and what to do with them. But remember the iron that where I used an old vintage iron to iron the pastels onto paper. So I remember also seeing that on YouTube somewhere, that they use oil pastels on this, so on acrylics. So I immediately found my oil pastels and voila. Think it's a little bit busy. It's very busy. I actually once again covered too many. There was a couple of white spaces in there and I covered that too much, and then I had to try and remove it by using a white oil pastel and whatever. But this is what you get when you use pastels on a jelly plate print. I mean, just look at this. That is the print. Remember, I think this is the second one I pulled. This is the right side up. This is the second one I pulled. So just by using oil pastels, you can create whatever you want. So there is mine. So then I decided, a couple of, let's say half an hour ago, I thought, but now I really want to try and do my ink again. The ink and the bleach. So I immediately started with the ink. But the awesome thing with this ink, bleach, and pastel technique is you start by drawing just very, very loosely your outlines with your non-dominant hand. So I went with my left hand, and then I drew the mountain range and the little houses. So I got that on. And then the second thing you can do that I forgot, you take a white oil pastel with vetkruid. You know what we call these pastels? Ons noem dit vetkruide in Afrikaans. So this is the ones that they use in school. This is actually most probably an oil pastel, just the children's version. So then, wherever you want your ink and jig not to go, you cover with a pastel, because then they're not gonna seep into the paper. But I forgot to do it. So only after a while, when I was already going with this, my ink. This is, I will link the video where I actually show you step by step how to do this. This is the quick ink. So then you take your quick ink, very, very, very little ink in water. You first wet your whole page, then you just put a drop of water in this in water, and you cover some of the page with that, and it's just gonna run. Then you do it half ink, half water, and you go for the lighter side. That is the lighter ones. And then you go for the dark. So this is what I did. I even went with my hair dryer to dry it because I just couldn't wait to show you and to do this. This is actually one of the nicest techniques I ever did. I absolutely love it. Now look at this magic. So you dip it in bleach. In South Africa, jik, I don't know what, all over the world, but just ordinary bleach. And then you just apply it to where you want to take your ink away. So I thought, let me make this kind of a sunset. But look the beautiful color of this bleach. Man, it is just crazy. So I am just applying it there just to get some kind of a sunset going here. But I love the color. It's just the most gorgeous colors. If you apply it a little bit, then it is not as dark or whatever, but look at that. So there I have my sunset. I mean, how easy is this? So then I'm going to look and say, let's most probably just do there a little bit on that little mountain, because the sun is now going to shine there, and just go for it here. And there a little bit. So you now just apply this jig where you want. The more the ink, the look there, it's very difficult to now only actually show you like this, but I really want to show you the magic. So there you just go. And you just apply. Look there, it's just so gorgeous. You need to work in a ventilated room because I can smell what's going on here. So just look at this. So now I'm just gonna go for I'm just gonna here and there very loosely, and then here in my bushes I'm just gonna apply some. I made my bushes very dark, so now I am just applying some jig there, and look, it's coming there for the steps in front of the little door inside the windows. Just apply a little bit. Look how the light is just shining through there. Look at this. Isn't it the most gorgeous thing? I remember my first one like this. I stopped. I'd said I was on an art course, and I just said, I'm not going to go further. I just want it like this. This is just the most gorgeous things. Now look at my tree. I am just going for little round things. And then there's some bushes. So it's the light that's coming through. And I just apply a little bit here and there I have it. Isn't it awesome? So I don't know, Parker. This is Parker Quick Ink. I'll write it down in the links below. And then it's ordinary bleach. Then it is a pastel thing, Vetkruid, that you can, so you see, if I now did some of these things, I actually did apply it on the house later on, but I was too late. So that is why I couldn't. Then your house will stay white because things cannot go in there. So you apply now whatever you want before. First, you do this. After you draw it with your left hand, if you're right-handed, you apply this, and then very, very next to nothing with this. Cover the whole page with water and then very diluted. Your little first layers that will be very, very light. And then you go for half and half water, and then lastly you'll put your dark spots, your dark ones in, and voila. So after this, what we did on the course is you can now glue pieces on. Let's say your house or that tree is orange. So then you can just glue an orange piece of paper there, and then later you can go on with a little bit of pastels, not oil pastels, the other one, soft pastels, and then you can get little bits of color in by using your pastels. But remember what I did, my second one I did, this one was actually the same, but then I really overworked it a bit with the pastels. There you could see pieces that I glued in. If you look very, very closely, you will see the pieces that I glued in, and then over that you will then go with your pastels. But just remember, after you work with pastels, you need to spray it, otherwise the pastels will go off. So there you can see some green. So that is, so my next step after this, if I want to, at this stage I wanted to do all the different ideas, is I think I'm just gonna leave it like this. So there's my little thing, and just look at this, what we also, oh, I love this, I mean this is just crazy. You just wet it, and then you just, oh, that was too much. You just make a little bit of drops. But as you know by now, I don't do anything little. So there I drop some jig on. But look at the little spots that's there. So isn't it awesome? I mean, it's actually, look there, a person can start to emerge there. Anything can happen. So this is one of my most favorite techniques, this ink and jig, because just look at this. Isn't it absolutely gorgeous? So there I have another one. So I just wanted to show you. And then the most crazy thing is, while I was waiting actually for my inks to dry, I thought, you know what? I am just gonna make a huge mess. I'm just gonna make marks. So this is also new to me. This is not really me making a mess like this and then try to get a painting out of it. But I saw that too. And I started with the mark making. So I used my pencils, water pencils, and then my inks. And now I am actually, let's do it. Let's just do it. I am just randomly gonna apply some jig here. Not thinking, this is what this whole experiment is all about. Not thinking, just me going as I feel. As I said, I've never done art this way. Just messing around and just doing things randomly. So there I have my jig. So there's a different dimension on this. So I don't know what's going to come out of this. I am just going to, when I come back, going to sit here and see how I'm going to change this into my reference photo. So on my Instagram, I am now writing and putting photos on of all of these things. Today I've posted the first one, so there you can read all about it, and then on my Facebook page, because that's where I can put my photos. So in Instagram, under Zetster's Lab, the same as this, the YouTube channel, I'm writing and putting photos on and telling what I'm using and how I got there. Just short, you know. So there you can look at me, at my photos. So thank you so much that I can share another very exciting technique with you. The sky is the limit. If you drop your fear, you can just go with it, go with the flow of how the life in you is leading you. And that is why, as I said, as I was waiting here, I thought, oh, I just feel like making marks. And I was actually watching the tennis, and then I was just making marks. So the awesome thing is, and do not tell me you don't have enough space to do art. This is a small little kist that husband bought me for a birthday sometimes. I don't know. So this is in front of my couches. My TV is there. So look at me. All my art supplies. It's only my acrylics that's actually not here at this stage. And I don't know what, but I just have no desire to go for the acrylics. To me, that seems like work, because it's in big tubes, and I need to mix some of them or not, and I don't know, I don't want to do that. So I've actually got I never know how to say this, gouache, I don't know, gouache. So I have those, and I love it because they're small and I can just open them. It's like watercolors, but a little bit more thick than watercolors. So then I just use my paintbrush, and there I go. So I actually said wrongly. One of these, this one, remember this one? This was actually not watercolor. This was just my pen, and then I just added gouache. So it's a lot the same, but it's a little, I like this actually more than the watercolor, but it's very similar. So this is it. Is it from Zetster's Lab? Love you lots, and thank you for joining me. And get out your stuff. All those art supplies that's just drying up, and just start playing. This is just an A4 sketchbook, as I said, and I am just using them, and as I'm using one, I'm led to the next thing, and I'm having so much fun. We got to get free, more and more free, to really just start to enjoy our journey through this realm and our art journey. I mean, really. Talk again. Is it from Zetster's Lab? Watch this space.